There's a degree of delicacy to the work we do, especially when working with cultures. We're going into places that are often relatively or very unvisited, and it's essential that we portray the cultures we visit in a way that's respectful.
We've got Art with a camera right in front. We have 2 photographers behind them, and then I'm hovering around someplace else, photographing or doing other duty. So it can be really intimidating. I mean, after all, we're trying to celebrate, you know, these traditional cultures.
Sabina.
Sabina. Dari Ramrocha.
I think the key is just to smile and to be compassionate.
And we often end up, you know, teasing our subjects. That's a way to break the barriers that are there linguistically and culturally otherwise. You know, you look at somebody with a sparkle in your eye and they look back and you've got an instant connection.
First, usually I put the camera in their hands, let them take a picture of me, and in the age of digital, they can look at the results, and it's very engaging, it's very immediate, and it's perfect for breaking down cultural barriers.
Walking into the monastery, you feel this profound sense of awe at the feeling that you could be stepping into something that happened hundreds of years ago and not much has changed.
That moment is like, wow.
Our goal is to put together a portrait of place that celebrates the beauty of the place, that talks about what's unique about the place, and that conveys a bit of its spirit, really. And if we can do that, I feel that we've been respectful and that we've really celebrated and honored the people we're visiting. Sometimes Art just heads off, you know, he's got something in mind and he'll just make a beeline for it. And we may or may not be ready to jump on that bandwagon.
As we're organizing our equipment and sort of trying to think about what we can make with the situation, he's disappeared.
Just over here on the left, probably in the
But
white
has he got a shot?
He called us down. Art, where are you? Okay. He's kind of like a tracking dog, and it's like you're hunting, and he's the dog out there finding the stuff. And so it's like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? And then all of a sudden he barks.
Call it, Art! Art, where are you? And, you know, off through the trees you'll hear this voice, I'm over here!
We'll find him eventually, but, you know, every now and then it's just like, oh, what happened to Art?
I come with an idea, and that's just maybe 20% of what I shoot. The rest is serendipitous. The rest is just an emotional response to what's coming together in the moment. It's light, subject, and circumstance, and when they come together, it's magic, and I work very fast because I know that these moments are just so ephemeral that they're gone in a flash.
We'll be walking along, we'll be driving along, and all of a sudden Art says, stop. I see something. I want to shoot this. And I'm quickly checking around to see what does he see that I don't see.
We're all seeing the same thing. We're looking and seeing the same thing, but Art's picking out particular things that are, you know, in tune with his aesthetic. And in a lot of cases, it's patterns, it's textures, it's details.
You know, I may see the pattern before I even see the herd of animals.
He's really very visual, comes from an artistic background that most photographers don't.
Is really an objective of mine to really translate a subject in a slightly different way or a greatly different way.
For example, in Torres del Paine in Patagonia, everyone tends to look at just the mountains, but in the early morning light, you see these exploding lenticular clouds that actually dominate the frame. So trying to expand your vision and seeing these types of things has certainly been one of the things that we've learned traveling with Art.
Well, we've got the maestro. He can coordinate it.
Well, you're the boss.
Well, all respectfully...
You're the boss when you want things your way, but now, you know, there's always going to be tension, and there's tension between Carl and me, and sometimes Sean and me and John and me. Is it me?
I mean, you put 4 creative people in a high-pressure situation in a short period of time, there's bound to be tension.
We're all perfectionists. You know, we're all passionate about getting the best possible image. And we all work really hard to do that. And our ideas aren't always identical, so we end up butting heads sometimes.
Of course, my primary instinct as a photographer is to see it, get it now, and do the TV show afterwards. But you know and I know if we go back 50 feet and redo it, that's another 20 minutes.
He is a driven artist. He gets tunnel vision on something he wants, and everything else will fall to the wayside until he gets that. So it's tough for us because we need more than just one shot to tell the story.
It's just amazing. We come to shoot these bits, and we set up for it, we know what we're doing, and yet we get to 20 minutes into it, and you know, we've got to rush off because there's some cranes off in the distance. Art's just impelled to go, go, go. So we're balancing the elements needed to tell a story with his drive to get images. Sometimes it's compatible, and sometimes it's not. Art,
Yes.
you know what I'd like is to get just a shot of you talking.
Okay, they're taking off. Just get out of the way.
You know, so there have been heated moments over the course of this series where we're just at each other's throats. You know, I'm saying, we don't have a show if you don't work with me and give me this, you know, this moment. And Art's saying, I need to get my shots, otherwise what are we out here for?
And yet all I know and tell myself is these guys are fighting to make this show better. And that's what truly comes through.
Thank you kindly. Where's my camera? Oh, I forgot the camera. That's bad. Can you back up quite a ways? Because I forgot my camera.
All right, let's be honest. I'm the guy on the trip that forgets things. I leave things behind. I forget about this. I forget about that because I'm so focused.
Sean forgot his camera.
I thought that was a joke. But then it was Sean.
I thought you were. That's actually the first time I've ever forgotten the camera.
It may be the first time you've forgotten the camera, but I remember sunglasses, hats, socks, insoles, single shoes, coats, gloves. Okay, the single shoes were an exaggeration.
Insoles to shoes, headlamps, you name it.
Yeah, it's a theme.
Yeah.
But you know, the camera, that's pretty a crowning glory.
This is big. This is big.
I'm not a very organized person, and John is.
I got tickets for everyone.
Having somebody like that to kind of anchor the logistics and take care of those types of things is just a must-have.
We have a really good pack list, and the thing that might surprise most people is that no matter where we're going, whether it's Africa in summertime or Antarctica in wintertime, about 90 to 95% of what we bring is exactly the same.
We've kept cutting it down, and each subsequent episode, we've gotten leaner and meaner.
Well, the biggest logistical hurdle is just getting to these places with all our gear.
I've come to a new definition. It takes at least 4 plane flights to get to someplace really cool.
The fun part. Another day, another visa.
On land, we're typically in a 4-wheel drive SUV. Sometimes we're in minibuses or vans. Probably the most interesting modes of transportation are on the water. We've been on everything from yachts to dugout canoes.
Oh, it's gonna get nasty.
From a photography standpoint of view, Art travels super, super light. He gets what he wants with the most basic of equipment, and that allows him to hike a little bit further, to travel lighter.
The fact that we're working with these small, light HDV cameras is fabulous. They've worked out so well. You know, they're lightweight, they have incredible battery endurance. So when we go out for a week or longer in a region where there's no electricity, we're set.
We've got the right balance there, and I think that, you know, it's good for the show to be able to be light on our feet and be able to pounce on situations when they're happening.
Airplane flight, 6 hours of driving, bags, logging, and now there's enough light that we can actually do some work. We're in Ship 1.
Do some more work. I think
do some more work. That's right.
Let's do some more work.